In the next video tutorial, we're going to learn how we can use PowerShell to determine where in our SharePoint farm or in specific SharePoint web application a feature is activated. So I have the Windows PowerShell ISC open here. So the first line of my script, as always, I add the SharePoint related PS, the snap-ins for PowerShell. This will allow me to interact with the Microsoft SharePoint object model. Then in here, this is the tricky part. So I have the feature ID of the feature I'm looking for. So if you want to figure out, so this feature ID you see there, so this GUID is for the publishing web feature, which is scoped at the web level. If you want to get a full list of all the feature IDs that are coming out of the box for SharePoint, you can go on MSDN. There's a bunch of articles there giving you the IDs of every single features that you have with the Enterprise Standard or Foundation version. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to be calling a SharePoint commandlet call getSPFeature that takes the GUID of the feature I'm looking for as a parameter. This is going to return me a reference to my feature object. And then I'm going to get a reference to the web application that's located at the root of port 80, so HTTP localhost, the URL of the root web collection, side collection at that URL. Then I'm going to get my feature and look at the scope. So there are really, I'm only interested in two things. So the side collection features and the web features. Of course, there are other levels. So you can have a feature that's scoped at the web application level or at the farm level even. But in my case here, all I want to bother looking for is site collection and web. So if the scope is equal to site, that means it's a site scoped site collection. Otherwise, it's going to be a web. Or any, well, actually, it can be anything else, right? So it can be farm or it can be web application as well. It's just I'm only going to be looking at the web's level. So if we take a close look at my script, so what it does is it's going to loop inside every single site collection in my web application, and then in each site, this is at the site level actually, so it's going to look for every single feature that's activated at the site collection level, and it's going to compare both features. So the feature I entered here, so the publishing web one, compare it to the one at the site collection level. So every iteration of the loop. If it finds it, it's just going to print a message saying found at site collection, the URL of the site collection, and it's going to put a green background on this. Now we know in my case that this is a publishing web feature, so it's going to be scoped at the web level. So we're going to fall in the second condition here where it's an else. So what we do is we're not just looping through all site collections. We need to go at level deeper. We need to go and loop inside every single web, inside every single web site collection that are contained within the web application. So there's an extra step in here. And then we're just doing the exact same thing as we were doing it for the site collection, looping through all the features that are scoped at the web level this time, comparing the current feature with the one we got with the GUID at the top, and then if we find it, we're just going to print a message at the top. So normally what you would want to do in here, you would probably want to prompt the user to input the GUID of the feature they're looking for. In my case, it's hard-coded in there. But features, I mean, nobody knows them by heart, right? So you definitely need to go out on the internet and figure out what your feature ID is. So if we execute this script here, so it's going through it, and then we can see that, and actually previously I said the background set to green, but that's the foreground we're setting to green here. So it executed the script, and then it figured out that at the web level, at my root web level, I have the publishing web feature activated. So if we take a look at this, I'm just going to go in localhost. So this is the root of my site collection. I go site settings, and then I'm going to look at the site features. I should have the publishing feature activated. And there it is. So I can just go in, deactivate it, and then just to prove that my script is working, I'm going to run it again. And now what it's going to do is should not return anything. So you're just going to get the code there, and you see there's nothing in green because the feature is not activated. So hopefully this is giving you some insights as to how you can use PowerShell to produce a report of where certain features are activated. This can be very, very useful when you're thinking of uninstalling a third-party feature that you may not trust, that it's going to get the job done right if you just simply deactivate the feature. So you want to make or uninstall the farm level solution. So you want to make sure that you deactivate the feature everywhere where it's activated. So this could give you a very interesting report, and then you can just go inside each of these webs and just manually deactivate that feature. Or even you could just do your in your PowerShell script. So when you have a reference to the feature, you also have a reference to the site collection or the web app. You could just go sitecollection.features.remove and then pass that feature there, and it's going to take care of automatically removing or disabling that feature at either the site collection level or at the web level. Until next time.